that fight?
If that's the way he chooses to fight him, I think that, he could do something to that effect. But he's the type of guy that uses his size and his jab very well. And he will impose his will on you for those rounds for as long as it lasts. I think he goes the distance, but I think he wins.
On the flip side of that, people have said, look, Ugas counters Spence, kind of buzzed him. If Crawford does that, we may see Spence go down.
No, Spence ain't going down. Not happening.
What?
No,
Why?
he's not going down. He's not happening.
If Ugas was able to buzz him, what happens if Crawford buzzes him?
Listen, he's not going down. He's a dog.
Yeah.
I was working with him way before he ever fought Sean.
Yeah.
So, I've seen him do this for quite a few years since the amateurs. He has the ability to win that fight and just about any other guy that comes along as well.
Those are the words of Kenny Porter as he was interviewed from Fight Hub TV. Shout out to them for the interview. And as you heard Kenny Porter, he picked Spence to beat Crawford. He thinks that he's bigger on the fight night. He thinks it goes to distance. And there is no way that Spence is going down to Crawford. And let me counterpunch. I respect the analysis. Kenny's a trainer, so he knows both fighters, Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. And this is based on his educated guess. And I think that seeing is believing in a lot of times. And let me give you an examples of people that clearly couldn't go down and did. Okay. Floyd Mayweather, Diego Corrales. Nobody expected that fight to go the way it went. Floyd Mayweather was fast, it was quick, it was smaller. And he was able to put Diego Corrales down at least 5 times until it was ultimately stopped, I think, in the 9th round because it really got pathetic. Now, I'm not saying that it will go that way because I think it's a lot closer than that, okay? But Diego Corrales, Chico, he was known to be just tough. He would get just plundered by many punches, right? And he would take them well. Like Robert Garcia, the current trainer of Mikey Garcia and Anthony Joshua and all the rest of them, he was once a champion at that same weight class, and he gave Diego Corrales everything that he could handle. And Diego Corrales ate them like mini burgers. He ate those shots. And he looked like, wow, what is this? Well, that didn't happen with Floyd, okay? And a lot of people, Sean Porter, his son, nobody knew that fight would go the way it was going based on how that fight was going. Sean Porter, regardless of what people say, that, oh, he didn't look good. No, he looked good. He looked very good. He didn't look like this podcast Porter or whatever people are trying to pitch that narrative. No, he looked really well in that fight. And in fact, they told Terence Crawford in the 9th round going into the 10th that he was up. So if he was up, how was he looking that bad being up? He was having a very competitive fight. He was doing what Sean Porter does. He was being brutal. He did go down from a shot from Errol Spence, but it's Errol Spence though, right? So no one knew that Terence Crawford was going to put Sean Porter down like that. They needed an explanation, and the explanation, well, he didn't look the same. He was this podcast guy, and he had a family, and he ain't the, No, he started looking bad based on the way he went down, and his father was like, yo, I never seen that before. Since I never seen that before, yo, we're going to have to stop this fight, because not only did he get knocked down, when he got up, he got knocked down right again. So the inevitable was going to happen. So it was going to really get embarrassing, similar to Chico Corrales and Floyd Mayweather, Pretty Boy Mayweather back in the day. So I think a lot of times these guys don't understand, or they don't believe what they see until it happens. And I think the difference between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, I think the distance is edging in. Why? Because Terence Crawford is getting older. And Errol Spence is still young, based on, the accident, based on his maturity, based on the way he lives his lifestyle now, I think he's a lot better now than he was back then. I think if Errol Spence would have fought Terence Crawford 2 years ago, Terence Crawford probably would have stopped him. But there's a good chance that Terence Crawford is getting older and his reflexes are not the same. And a lot of people are starting to question if he is the same type fighter, in fact. Does he still possess the reflexes? Does he still possess the skill, not even the skill set, but the testosterone levels? Because when you get older, things start declining. Okay, so a lot of people think if he didn't fight Errol Spence last year, he don't beat him. And I think if he does beat Terence Crawford, it will be a series of just waiting him out. The waiting game is the best way that a promoter can win any fight. The odds in your favor, the younger the fighter is versus the older the other fighter's getting. And I think that's what it is. But if Terence Crawford is still able to fight in that type of capacity, he can and will put Errol Spence down and do something that a lot of people probably are not even allowed to do or never seen before. But anyway, that's my counterpunch on Kenny Porter. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.